Oh, the record button is the same as a screenshot button. I was so confused. Alright, 1 second. Chocolate milk. So here is Snake Lady. And I was trying out Unreal for the first time. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like how it looked. I thought it looked horrible. But then I found this little button right here. The path tracer. Ooh, and let's lower the samples actually to something really low just so we don't have to wait. I think this looks much better, minus the noise. And it looks a little bit painterly because the samples are so low right now that the denoiser basically takes over and makes it look really painterly. But if I let this render for a little bit longer, it would look much better. Now this, however, looks way nicer. So this is before. Ew. And then after. Now, I like how this looks in Unreal. I don't like navigation too much. There you go. You can't seem to pivot around your mouse cursor or zoom to your mouse cursor too easily. I mean, you have to use the gamer controls. But I do like how it looks by default. I think it looks great. If you turn on the path tracer and maybe give it a few extra samples. Oops, I think I moved a little bit too much because it's blurred. But there are things I don't like. For example, trying to get some rendered images out of it, some still images, that was really annoying because let's say I have a bunch of different camera and lighting setups. For the viewport, you can just hide one setup and enable the next one, right? You can do that. But for rendering with what they call the movie render queue, these little eyeballs do nothing at all. So I need to go to every single light and then enable and disable some settings, and that was a bit painful. Maybe it's just me not knowing how best to do that. I'm sure there's some plugin that I can buy that simplifies that process, but yeah, I wasn't too happy about having to do that. If you ever use Unreal and the path tracer, then I'll tell you right now, you're better off just taking a screenshot of the viewport. And what else? Well, the textures don't hold up too well up close. I noticed that before, but in my defense, I never intended for this character to be a real-time character. Hey, this looks a lot better than the front. Guess it's just lighting. Why does the front look so bad? Ew. The front looks horrible. So I guess the front is lit up more by the HDRI. That's weird. I wonder if I lit the front with whatever they call it, a rectangle light, it would look better. Probably. Yeah, but the textures don't hold up too well up close because this was not meant to be a real-time character. That was an afterthought. So there's not a lot of optimization in terms of the low poly. So there's a lot of elements, particularly the kit bash elements that I used, that have polygons that are not visible but are still using UV space. So my bad. But what else? Oh yeah, this character is also deceptively long. I was just measuring it right now just to see how long it actually is. So, when it's coiled up, I can zoom here a little bit more easily. Let's do this. So when it's coiled up, it measures about 2.2 meters. So I think an average human height is like 1.7 something. Obviously, it depends where you live. But when we uncoil this, all of a sudden it's almost 6. So more than 3 times, I believe, the coiled height. So it's a very long character, and I didn't want to use too much UV space. So I ended up using 3 4K textures for this. And using 4 4K textures would have made it look a little bit nicer up close. But that seems silly because that's the same as a single 8K texture, and that was just too embarrassing. I wanted to be able to tell the truth if someone ever asks about the texture resolution. So 3 4Ks doesn't sound as bad. Sounds a little bit bad, but not as bad. But it's because it's not very optimized. One thing I did do to optimize this a little bit better was to recycle this. So this is an array. And it's basically that exact same element, just repeated a bunch of times. So I only needed to make UVs for this. They're automatic UVs again. Let me be clear about that. But I only needed UVs for one piece, and then I can just repeat this. And also, that allows me to just change the length of the snake lady. If I wanted to make her longer or shorter, I could just change this and move everything else up, basically. So that's how we saved a little bit of texture space, and we also saved some more by using a collection here for the arm. So this arm is just an instance collection, so only this arm has UVs. And ooh, can we move this? How do you move this? Is it Control Tab? It is. Woo! As you can see, they move exactly the same. There is no armature on the other side because it's just an instance. So that's how we save some UVs, and some parts I think don't have anything around the back. Like this one, but still, it's very unoptimized. So maybe the next one we'll actually retopologize it manually. Whoop. Oh, this is marmoset. So one thing I discovered is that marmoset toolbag looks pretty much just as good as Unreal. Not quite as good, but for a character like this, it's great. And as you can see, it renders a lot faster, even though it might not look as nice, especially when it comes to the emissive. I try to make the emissive look really cool like in Unreal, but that didn't quite work. Like, yeah, it's not the same. Whereas in Unreal, these just look awesome. And again, this is just the real-time rendering. Once we switch it to path tracing, it looks so much nicer. So marmoset, I think, looks better faster. Oh my god, I'm so confused with navigation. Oh wait, it moves just like Unreal and Maya at the same time. Cool. Just like Unreal. So yeah, this is a lot easier to get images out of, but the problem is that it's like $300. So hopefully one day we can buy it. Like, I can buy it right now. The problem is that we're not making a lot of money, so I don't like spending money if I can't replenish it at the same rate I just spend it. Rather similar, right? But yeah, Unreal looks cool. I can see why people might like it, but it was such a pain to get these images out of Unreal. And I'm sure it wouldn't have been as complicated if I didn't have so many different lighting setups. So this is one camera with its own key light and backlight and so on, and this is a completely different one. Each one of these images was a different camera and light setups. If it weren't for that, then probably would have been fine. But yeah, I don't know if I want to use Unreal again. Unless I can figure out a better way to get rendered images out of it. Alright, why don't we try duplicating this light. I forget how you do this. Oh, never mind, I remembered. Let's see if we can make it look nice, because the front looks horrible in lit mode. I don't know what's up with that. Something like this. What does this look like? Oh my god, it was the HDRI. So I think my HDRI resolution is just too low then. So where is this light? I don't want to lose track of it. Alright. So here's our HDRI light. Pretty sure there's like a resolution setting. Oh, here it is. Does this make it look better? Why does it just look horrible? It looks great in the path tracer, but it looks horrible here. I don't know. No idea. No, never mind. All I know is that, oh, this looks so much better. I mean, of course, I would still need like some fill lights, but are we just not supposed to use HDRIs? Because now it almost looks like the path tracer. Oh, let's try the path tracer. That looks the same. Now, we don't even need the path tracer anymore. What the fuck? How does this work? Alright, I believe I figured it out. Unrelated. I wanted to make her spin, because as everyone knows, spinning is so much cooler than not spinning, right? And here we go. Ooh, can we maximize this? Oh, we can. Look at that. Wow, all we had to do was just not use an HDRI, huh? Who would have thought? Let's get closer. No, wait, let's do it cinematically. Super slow. Ruined it. Alright, we'll make a proper turntable later, but I just wanted to learn the basics, I guess. Beautiful.